Hey, nerds, and welcome to The Gutter. My name is Steve-O. This is the 20th episode of the Gutter Nerds podcast. One more and we can drink.
Woo!
Joining me today, the John Madden of the crew, is Chuck.
Now, if you're going to score a football, you need to get down all the way to the other side, and then boom, you get your 6 points.
And the TO of whatever game he's playing is Corporate Cal.
That's right, you gotta keep your popcorn ready, okay?
That's your teammates.
That's your teammates.
That's your quarterback. So, guys, today's episode is brought to you by Game Guy's Dick. Half off during the Steam Summer Sale. And now back to the show.
Wow.
Wow, I like it.
Gotta watch what you tweet.
That's right.
I'll snag it.
That's right.
I'll snag it. Also, guys, wanted to let you know that at the end of the show, at the end of every show we do its host, we have our Gutter Nerds glasses here. If you want to go grab your drink now, or grab your glass or whatever, you can also go to our Facebook store. Our official Gutter Nerds glass is $15 on our Facebook store, facebook.com/gutternerds, and you can drink officially with us.
You have your own glass. You can't drink from any of ours. These are all stunt glasses, and plus they're on this side of the...
Don't put them in the dishwasher either.
No, not yet.
Glasses? Are they
Just
doing
telling
like
you.
tricks and shit?
Yeah, they've been hanging out with us for the past 2 months, doing every toast since we started selling them.
So, what you been playing?
Well, I've been on a boat, but when I wasn't, still battlegrounds.
So you've been playing shuffleboard on the Lido deck. Is what you've been
Exactly.
playing.
And you played roulette.
I did play roulette, and for some reason that my number hit again. So, but I sadly
I'll give you the reason.
Did you see that look of exhilaration on his face? Like,
But-
this weird confusion? Like, my number hit again.
no, because it's roulette. It's like the odds of hitting your actual number when you haven't played it the entire trip and you play one number. You put $5 down when I should have put the $100 chip down.
1 in 37. Excuse me, guys. That's my fault.
Way to go.
That's my fault.
You are
Professionalism!
kill him.
Hey guys,
No.
you want professionalism? Go watch The Attack. So yeah, you played roulette and you played.
I played blackjack, roulette, the dragon, because
How blackjack treat you?
not well. I mean, I didn't gamble a lot on it, but
Did you bet 25 a hand?
no. Probably why it didn't treat me well.
Okay.
No.
You know what? I want to play Mahjong. Not like the match tiles Mahjong. I want to play like the legit Mahjong. Like, you know, you got 4 people and then they got the tiles sitting there like tiles from
Is that the one
from
where like if you
Scrabble.
lose, they like take your finger or something?
Yes, because every game of Mahjong is played with the Yakuza.
I think the
sounds
only games
legit,
of
Chuck.
mahjong I've seen are in movies by gangsters.
There is also that one scene from Killer 7 where...
Are they gangsters?
yes, they were gangsters because at the end of that one, they all 4 blew each other's brains out.
Oh, that's right.
Because they all went, like, it looked like a fucking Tarantino movie.
That was a good ass movie too.
Yes.
Game.
I know, it was a good movie,
Good.
too.
It would have been a good movie too. No, I take that back. It would not have been a good movie. So, what have you been playing, Chuck?
Well, I have some news. I'm not going to say it's good, because that may jinx it, but I have some news. I have been stress testing the same Xbox One, and it seems like after 2 weeks of being decommissioned, it seems to be running
The hard drive
Okay.
fixed itself? The ghost in the machine?
I think it's the ghost in the machine, dude. I really, really do.
Scarlett Johansson came in and fixed it for you?
No, that's the ghost in the shell.
Oh, okay.
The ghost in the machine, I forgot who was in that movie. Yes, that was an actual movie.
Yeah.
I know too much about
So what did you stress test it with? What'd you play?
GTA 5.
Okay.
And
Online?
yes.
Did you try the radio?
Did I try the radio? Yes, I did try the radio. Radio works. And I did not have any weird, like, jumps or freezes where it was trying to load the rest of the world.
Okay.
So I have been playing that. I started hosting my own heists.
Okay.
And my money went from 4K. Oh, that reminds me. If this thing actually works, you guys are going to have to help me with the MC.
Yeah. We've
Because-
done like shockingly little MC stuff.
I just bought a business for the MC.
What was the first one?
Document forgery, 650K.
So that's new missions that you unlock?
It's not new missions, but it works like the business stuff.
The CEO
where
stuff?
you have supply, and then the supply turns into stuff that you can sell. So you have to keep going to get more supplies.
Okay.
And you can be attacked during supply runs
By other players?
by other players.
Okay, right.
I don't play this game, so I'm still lost. So
In GTA Online?
don't have it.
Okay, so in GTA Online, you can do... Now there are like 3 big things you can do, sort of like once you've... You can do heists, and you can take missions from people and stuff like that.
Random question.
Yeah.
Is it a crossover game? As in, can I play it on the PC with my Xbox One?
They're all-
You ask this question every time we mention GTA 5, and the answer is still the same.
Well, that's still not buying it.
He's forgotten, and that's fine. You don't have to remember literally every word we ever say to you.
What? No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're closed ecosystems right now. But some of the developers are really putting pressure on Sony to open up because everyone else is opening up.
No, it's not going to happen.
Rocket League is specifically got them to bend.
I mean,
I don't
Rocket
think
League
it's
is
because Red
huge
Dead
too.
Redemption hasn't gotten them to bend yet.
Red Dead Redemption is the first one in talks for cross-platform play now. That's the first one.
Slowly but surely, they might give way.
Dude, as long as they're at the table. If they'll come to the table and chat.
I don't want them at the table if they're all they're going to do is just sit there with their arms crossed like a 5-year-old going, "Give me money! Give me money! I'm too cool for you! Give me money!"
They're not, Chuck, the thing is, though, they're not asking for your money because they already have most of it.
No. They're asking.
They're just saying, if you want to be part of
Okay,
us,
for
join us. If
starters-
not, go fuck yourselves.
For starters, I can't remember the last time I actually bought a Sony product of any kind.
So you're saying, though, that you're like, no, not going to happen. They're not going to do it.
I don't think they're going to do it because I think they're way too far up their own ass about how cool they are with the hardcore crowd.
I think they will reluctantly do it.
At best, they
But-
will
I think they
reluctantly
will
do it.
eventually, but right now, they don't need to.
No, let's say. So let's get this on record. 1 year from now, will any game on PS4 be able to be played with anyone on Xbox One? 1 year
Not
from
on
today.
Xbox One, maybe PC, I'll say.
They already play with PC players.
No, well, there you go.
DC Universe Online is crossed between PS4 and PC.
Oh, well,
So
there you go.
will any game on PS4, will you be able to play it with Xbox One?
I said-
1 year from now. What do you guys put it out there?
1 year from now, I'm just going to go with no.
I'm going to go with no.
I'm
Hard
going
no.
a hard yes. So we'll
I
revisit.
love your optimism, but
We'll revisit.
Yeah, I still think it's.
I'm
'cause
optimistic.
I still think it's be two to 3 years or so, just because they want to have that dynamic, and there needs to be probably more actual technical difficulties to get through, even if they are to do.
If more
the
developers
coding is different.
If
The
more
coding is way
developers
different.
lean on them, they're not going to have much of a choice.
But they have,
true,
but they have to
because-
get.
but-
But that means there has to be a relationship between Xbox and PlayStation, like a positive one, to where they're not fighting over each other's
Yes,
money.
that's the thing.
And they don't have
No,
that
that's-
bridge.
That's not true. They don't. They're not fighting. So they're fighting over each other's money in terms of the console sales and stuff like that. But linking this doesn't lose anyone's money for anything. They really only have. This is from the interview I read with the Rocket League developers. So just be aware of that. The way that the player base is split when you have people playing on PS4 and people playing on Xbox One, like take Destiny for example, or Overwatch, right?
Right.
Anytime you add DLC, paid DLC, that splits the fan base even further. We're
Yep.
starting to get away from that with Battlefront 2, saying like all of the expansions are going to be unlockable and free. So trying to split the player base, or trying to keep the player base from being split. Rocket League is saying that the online multiplayer games, they don't want to make Rocket League 2 or 3.
They don't need to, yeah.
Overwatch 2 doesn't ever need to happen. For
Nope.
the same reason that WoW 2 never needs to happen.
They just add
You just
expansions.
update the game.
Yep.
But if you have a split player base, it's hard to do that. So if you can make Overwatch crossplay with everyone, then now they're going to invest more in the game. More people will flock to the game because let's say you're playing what's the game that you played on PS4? Like multiplayer.
Like Call of Duty. Let's
Stripes
say
Uncharted.
Call of Duty, or even let's just go with Let's go with Battlefield.
Okay, Battlefield is good. You get Battlefield on PS4. And
Right.
My friends that have Xboxes don't really care about Battlefield.
Right.
But if you're like, Steve-O, let's play
Hypothetically.
Battlefield. Well, I'm not, I would only be playing with you. I wouldn't be able to play with everyone. Or I wouldn't be able to play with you. So I'd have to go get a PS4. And so, I mean.
Now here's something that.
But what I'm saying is that they'll sell more copies of the game.
Now here's my question to you
Yeah.
regarding this matter as well: is that are you wanting the console systems to link? Are you trying to link console, PC, and console specifically on shooters or what? Regardless, because if you can link shooters with a PC, The console gamers are going to get crushed all day.
There may be a way to do that, but
They can make it fair? There is no way that can make that fair.
I think there's a way we haven't thought of to make that fair.
Frame rate, I mean, computers are more powerful than any of the consoles, so their frame rate, lag time, graphic capability, everything is much more faster on a computer than it is on your Xbox or PS4.
Yeah, but people with different latencies experience that already on PC and consoles. Even when you play on PC, everybody's PC is different, so they also already have all of those differences already there. That's not going to be anything new. That already exists.
Again, I'd say yes and no, because that's mainly a load time more than anything in these games.
But everything with the graphics, different graphics cards have different capabilities, and someone's internet could be completely different.
Right, but most people on these...
You play Battlegrounds at 40 frames per second. Before I upgraded my graphics card, I was playing it at 20.
Yeah.
So that already exists.
Right.
That's not going to be a huge disparity. I think the specific disparity is in the controller. Is on console you have that slight auto aim that assists you.
Yep, the auto aim assist.
And in PC it's keyboard and mouse, so you have that fine precision and typically no aim assist. So I do not know how to balance that specific thing.
Right.
I think that it can be done. I have no idea how, but I think that in terms of shooters, that you are right. That playing cross-platform with PC specifically, is going to be the issue, the sticking point.
Right.
Someone smarter than I is going to come up with a balanced way to do that, or a balanced enough way to at least open the door. And awesome. But I don't see that being a soon thing.
And I feel like you would get more than 40 in Battlegrounds Unknown.
That I would get more than 40?
Uh-huh. You should probably be getting a lot more than that. I'll look into it.
Sure.
Because even game guys
it's not like the game's optimized or anything.
Well, still.
This is an interesting segue to tonight's topic.
But before we do that, I was going to explain the GTA stuff for you, but I'll explain it another time.
That's fine.
You spend money to make money. There you go. That's what you do.
Okay.
And a couple things that were newsworthy this week I want to get you guys' opinion on. First of all, the Super NES Classic.
Woo!
The what?
Super NES Classic.
No, I mean I heard you.
So
what?
remember the Nintendo Classic? The small one.
I can already put these things together in my mind.
So what's your specific question then?
I thought they were just rumors.
No.
No. September 20 something. September
23rd. September 23rd and 29th. Yep. I think.
Okay.
They're probably all sold out already.
It will come with two.
Right?
It will come with two controllers. It will
Finally.
also be $80.
Okay.
And it'll come with 20 games on that one that's not even been.
It's got like 12 games on it, I think.
No, I thought it was like 18 plus.
Okay, we'll check that. But they are releasing Star Fox 2 for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's their bonus game on there that's never been released.
Ooh.
Super Street Fighter 2 is on there. Super Metroid. Super Contra.
Probably
Super
Castlevania.
Street Fighter 2?
Castlevania's not on there.
Okay. Any Mega Man games?
Mega Man X, I think, is on there.
That's the good one. That would be the one you put on there.
That's a great one. It's a great game.
Yeah, but
Any Final Fantasies?
Final Fantasy 3.
Nice.
Is that the original 3
It's the
or the 6? Okay.
Yeah, because the original 3 was for the NES.
Right.
Still a good game.
Yes, Game Guy. I typically average 40 in Battlegrounds when I'm in the field. I think. I have Shadowplay. I usually look at it. So
Yeah, he's got a point. Maybe there was a reason why Star Fox 2 was never released in America. There's only one way we're going to find out, GG.
So the other thing, is this something that you guys are interested in?
Yeah.
The class.
I need a full game list, but damn.
I don't know if I'd buy it, but I think it's cool. Just kind of like they didn't do the NES. I would buy it probably for eBay reasons.
You're a fucking
dirty
scalper.
I was gonna try to. I'm gonna try and snag one for a giveaway.
Get thee behind me.
You're crazy.
No. But,
No, yo. You told people we were giving away a Super NES Classic. I guarantee you that number down there at the bottom of the screen would fucking skyrocket.
yes, Jonathan. Pretty much all these games can be played on.
You can play them on emulator. Absolutely.
And that's the reason why I didn't lose my shit over the Super NES or the NES Classic is because my fucking telephone.
Yeah.
I can plug in a controller and play those games already.
Why is it got to be a fucking telephone?
Because have you
seen the pictures on my phone?
Have you seen the things that phone has done? Have you seen the places that phone has been?
I don't want to know. Don't know. There's things I don't even want to know things about.
So
You brought this upon yourself.
I figured the SNES would be right up your alley. Like the
Oh,
NES Classic
totally.
is something
Yeah.
that like I could give or take. I'm a little interested in Star Fox 2, and the fact that you can't fucking expand it is annoying.
Yeah.
Like you can't play the cards from it. Or
You
anything.
can't expand.
That's why you just own one like a champion.
Dude, before they kicked me out of Retro, they had me working on the NES Classics. I ran into some hacked ones. They kept the front end exactly the way it normally looks.
But not the NES Classic, like those specific. The original NESs have been hacked.
No, the NES Classic Minis have been hacked
Really?
too. Yes. They're apparently super easy to do too.
Oh, well, what do you know?
They're both super easy and super hard.
You could just get like a wired 360 controller and a Raspberry Pi.
That's exactly what I was about to bring up.
That is-
I was literally typing that right
That
now.
is what
Yeah.
literally everybody.
My brother made one.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of nostalgia factor in that it's small. The size of the system is that big.
And you got a TV that has an HDMI port on it, and you have a spare HDMI cable. Bada bing. There you go.
I think it's like a neat thing.
Except it's probably still going to have that weird, like, proprietary controller end, like it does with the NES Mini. Looks like it goes on Wii.
The controller ports look like the SNES controller ports
Yeah.
on the front of it.
But they're probably smaller because it's probably a smaller controller.
It is probably smaller. You're probably right.
Like just like
question.
on the
Which
first
means
one.
that the controllers here will be specific to the Super NES Mini.
Probably.
You probably want to
The thing about the NES Classic controllers though were that you could plug them into the Wii and the.
Yeah, but they were still like baby size.
No, they were full size controllers.
They
they
were
were?
they
Yeah,
were
the controllers were
mostly
full-size.
full-size controllers.
Okay, I thought they were tiny.
I thought they were literally the exact same mold.
They were a little shrunk down.
Really?
Either that or my hands don't remember holding
You're
them.
older now.
Yeah, I am older, and my hands are bigger. But yeah.
So Jonathan yells, "Now give Sam a raspberry."
No, you gotta put it on his tummy.
The other thing is that we are less than a week from July, and they still haven't announced the July games with gold yet. Isn't that's a little unusual? Usually by the
You know what I think it is?
Was there any good ones for this month?
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
You know what
So I
I
should
think
probably
it is?
go home and get them.
I would, yes.
I'll
Okay.
bet you it's going to have something to do with the fact that they're making Xbox original games available for the Xbox One. They're trying to
Okay.
figure out how to implement that.
I was gonna guess like Crackdown. Like Crackdown 2 was gonna be free.
In celebration
push
for
for 3.
Crackdown 3, yeah.
But having an Xbox original or 2.
Because remember, during
So
the 360 days,
We
they
get
were,
4 a month now. We
Yeah.
get 2 Xbox One games for free and 2 360 games for free. All the 360 games, if you cancel your subscription, you get to keep. The Xbox One ones you don't. Similar to PSN, where as long as you have the subscription, you can play them. But the 360 ones you get to keep, period. I'm going to guess that the Xbox originals are going to be the same.
Now,
And will they increase the count? Are you going to get 5 or 6 free now per month? Or
I don't know. But maybe that's why they haven't announced it yet, because they're still trying to figure out the logistics behind it.
We're gonna flip from earlier when I was real optimistic and you were skeptical. I'm gonna be a little skeptical because I think that the rollout is going to be more like fall for the originals.
Okay.
But that is a great reason. And if we come back next week, because next week we'll obviously know what they are.
I am not.
If there's one Xbox original in there,
I'm
I'll
not going
shake
to be
your
a
hand.
called it. I'm not going to be a called it. I won't even let you.
You won't be that guy?
No, I will not be that guy because, like,
I would be that guy.
when it,
So I'm putting another. I would be that guy. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck yourself. See, you gotta listen to me.
when it comes to business practices, I try to be as realistic as possible. Well, that's why I'm so pessimistic when it comes to Sony being okay with cross-platform with Microsoft, because those two have never gotten along with each other. And that's why I'm like, maybe the reason why we haven't heard anything about July's games for gold is because they're trying to figure out how to do that. Now remember, the 360 could play the Xbox One games, and they sold them on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yes.
I still have Max Payne 2 and Sid Meier's Pirates.
Do you remember when they added backwards compatibility and any of the games you had bought digitally just
Thanks, Jonathan.
auto-populated your list?
Yep.
That was Christmas fucking morning for me because I came. Seriously, I was like,
Where did all these games come from?
you turn on your system and it just went, oh, you've got 30 more games than you thought you did now. Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
They actually want the raspberry on Sam's tummy or it doesn't count. Chuck, would you raspberry Sam's tummy, please?
Yeah.
Calvin, would you raspberry Sam's tummy, please?
There you go.
That was so worth it. Give them what they want.
That's what the viewers want.
Cal's like, give them what they
If
want.
that fireworks
I
count
will-
doesn't hit 90 by the end of the night, I'm gonna be so disappointed. In
I will give them what they want.
So the fuck, what was it? What was it?
You got distracted.
Oh,
It was sexy,
you did
right?
distract me. I guess we're just launching the topic then. That's all I got for news.
Just gravy, baby. Well, I'm turning off my television.
Don't you like you love that. You wish it was you. Wish it was you.
So
We
we're,
wish you were here right now in the midst of this.
this conversation sort of started during the EA press conference when we were watching.
Which, if you haven't seen, by the way, is now on our YouTube channel.
Yes, yeah. And Red 6, Nick and Caleb from Red 6 joined us to watch the EA stuff.
Oh my God! Keep it down over there.
It's a comment that Game Guy made, waiting for.
I feel like crazy cat lady.
Oh my god, that is guaranteed that I will never do that to him again.
Sam, you're welcome. Only if you're lucky.
Sam's belly button did contract
Our
something.
studio audience, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, back on track here. We watched the EA press conference with Red 6, with Nick and Caleb, and Caleb brought up a fantastic point. They were showing Battlefront 2, a multiplayer, and it was 24 on 24, I think, so it was like a 48-player match.
You think so?
And they were announcing it like an esport. They had 3 different announcers, saying what was going on. And so we started talking about what the format would have to be, how this kind of thing would work, how to effectively do that. The way that now when you watch sports, you have very knowledgeable announcers that follow the action, explain things, unless it's soccer. And I guess the announcers just assume that because soccer is the most popular sport in the world,
Right.
that everyone knows the rules. But like if you watch an NFL game, they're like, pass interference, blah, 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 20 yard, and the announcer's usually like, okay, so right here we can see where the pass interference, the rule is this, he's got 2 hands on him, or he's
Right.
repeating movement. And so, but with soccer, they're like, oh, it looks like they're out of bounds with the right kick on the left side, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck's going on? Like,
I don't know why
Quick,
we're all
the
cheering.
game's 90 minutes long unless we want it to be 95 for some reason, and I'm like, what the fuck? Are we counting up? Why are we counting up?
First of all, it'd be more like football. But second off,
What would be more like football?
the original term for it is football.
Oh, they would not say soccer. Okay, fair.
Second
So our
off,
choices
your
are
English
football or
accent.
football?
Your English accent. It's American football or football. Your second choice of words, you sound Australian instead of British.
Hey, Australians.
Australians play
announced-
football too.
Announced
Barely.
going for Cockney,
But they still play.
Barely.
Australians still played probably some announced. Just Gravy says worst accent ever.
Fair.
But okay, so what have you ever watched an esport?
Absolutely.
Anything? I know we've watched streamers before, but have you ever watched an esport?
In person?
Ever in person or on TV?
Yes.
Anything?
Both.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, Chuck?
It has been almost entirely Smash, like entirely Smash. Whenever
You watch like Evo and stuff, right?
I don't, but my girlfriend's kids do.
Okay.
They watch it religiously. There is not a visit goes by where at some point they are not on Twitch watching people beat the shit out of each other on a Nintendo game.
Okay.
And
You've
then
watched Smash.
I've also watched Injustice 2, which made me want to play Injustice 2. I've watched Street Fighter 5. I've watched some.
Those Street Fighter kids, I gotta say, are hard fucking core.
Right.
I gotta give props to Street Fighter
They
kids.
are
Those
all
guys
hard fucking
are
core.
badass.
They are.
A lot of esports players are very hardcore, and I very much respect them. But for some reason, the Street Fighter Fivers, or the Street Fighters really in general, I feel like, man, they've really got to lock their shit down.
They do, because it is an extremely intricate game. Like mere milliseconds can determine the difference between a good defense and put your controller down because you're never going to touch a button again.
Right.
Right.
What have you watched?
So, watched live at DreamHack. I watched Counter-Strike tournament, and also at PAX South. There was this year. There was a Overwatch tournament going on live. for esports. Okay, and then I usually, when I can, I'm watching League of Legends esports tournaments, as well as Dota 2 and Counter Strike.
Like Dota 2, League of Legends, and Hearthstone are like the top 3
And Hearthstone,
in
I've seen that
Twitch.
live too.
You'll still watch Dota even though you're a leaguer.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I started off playing Dota originally when it was a mod for Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. Yeah. So when it was a mod for that game, me and John Mosley and Eric and our friend Juan, we all played that religiously throughout high school. And then so we converted later on in life to League, but...
Jonathan Azers has a good point. He says, esports rage quitting is an embarrassment to the sport. How often does that occur?
I've never
seen
that happen.
Gamers, for sure, the rage quitting is certainly there. But have you seen anyone...
Not when it's for money or for the tournaments, especially when it's the Counter-Strike tournaments or the League tournaments or anything, because they're so high around the money. Especially in the Counter-Strike tournament, it's a 30-match series. Yeah. Each match lasts maybe 2 minutes, and it's 15 on one side, 15 on the other. So especially with Counter-Strike, they can't rage quit. You have 15 matches to get through.
I feel like I recently saw
30 matches to get through.
Or read an article of someone who, I guess, kind of rage quit. But basically what they did was they lost and then walked off. And I've seen...
That's not a rage quit, though. I didn't think that was a rage quit. Like, losing and then walking off means you lost. You have the freedom to walk off.
Although, Gravy, the Detroit Pistons did it in the 90s. They just walked right off the floor before the clock was over. They rage quit. The Detroit Pistons have rage quit before.
I need to see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Now, if you lose and you throw your controller and you walk away, then that's just quitting. But if you rage quit like halfway through the match, like fuck this, like that's what I consider rage quitting. Like just walking out, the match is not over. There's like a whole like 20 or 30 minutes possibly left in the match, and somebody just quits. That's what I consider a rage quit.
But yes, that kind of thing, and this is something that even professional athletes have to learn how to be professional athletes.
You have to be composed and confident.
A thing that's very in its infancy.
Right.
And a lot of gamers who are not trained, they don't have publicists. They didn't go to college playing on an esports league, to get a sense of how this.
So they have to maintain an image, especially for the company or the brand or the sponsors that is with
don't
them.
Have fucking PR teams, and they should.
But some of them also have editors. So with the YouTubers, there's a lot of people that make all their videos, and some people compile and edit those to make them, YouTube worthy.
Right. Yes.
So
I think the main concern is we played sports looking at each other. Baseball, football, hockey, like all of the sports involved a group of people standing on the same field, and some of those sports involved them colliding with each other, physical contact within the same realm of space. Mm-hmm. Esports all happen through a TV. Like, you may be able to see here as I'm playing against you.
And it's live, though.
It is live, but the thing is this. Like, people are still a lot better about being chill, or at least waiting until they go back to their hotel room before they start throwing shit around.
So this is like the street fight, the head-to-head, where they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. The online esports, I think you're right. Like, if you're sitting in your home and competing, like, in a match or something that people are observing, and it's not going well, you're more likely to be, like, an asshole or a baby because you're sitting at home and looking at TV, and you're not making necessarily the connection that those are other people.
There is nobody around to call you out on your childish antics, and plus, there is nobody around that could possibly, like, be directly affected by it. Because essentially, in essence, it is you sitting there with the TV and the controller in your hand, and there is nobody physically around.
Question:
what you're going to ask? Go ahead.
Are you referring to, because he's talking about esports, you're talking about playing at home?
But this is what I was gonna. This is because
when he says esports, that's at a tournament, right?
Esports, typically the teams are sitting together in an auditorium,
surrounded by people.
The other team,
there's where the people come in, but people have to train up to that point, and then they've been playing this game locked in their computer room with maybe one or two other people.
I think what Chuck is saying here, because I think I can bridge this here and make this make sense. I think Chuck is saying that they're still in the process of learning this crowd and the other team being there, because when you're training, you're probably training at home, or even if you're
Alone.
playing with your crew, you're not playing against another crew face to face. You're going online, and so if you're training that way, if you go to the stadium where you do see the other person playing the other team there, you may still zone into your screen.
We still have to be aware that there is a massive gap between online social interaction and meet space social interaction.
Well, with some of these things though as well, you guys need to think about as well, especially when, and I'm going to reference League of Legends because I know more about that pro player in esports.
It is a serious esport.
And now, because it's a huge esport right now. But what I want to point out in reference is that it is a team game, of course. But most of these teams, these guys, they all live together. They have all their computers surrounded by each other, and they're playing an ultimate teamwork to try and get cohesive teamwork together. But they go to a different country. Most of them fly. Some of them will be in.
Did they start as player level 1 as a team together like this?
No. But I'm saying when they did join the team, though, they have moved into the team. But that's what kind of what we're getting for like team play, right?
No, I'm seeing both sides here. You
I
start
understand.
playing the game by yourself,
I understand.
so you may not be socialized through the game.
Right.
There is a socialization aspect that comes from the team when you become professional.
Right.
But even on that team, though, when you go up against other teams, you're not routinely seeing in real time the actual human of the other team.
There is a difference
until you
between,
get to the big stage.
There's a difference between looking at your teammate and looking at your opponent. That's why you can get away with playing Street Fighter, and then when your brother kicks your ass, you reach over and yank the controller out of his hands, but you can't do that in an official esport game because that's really unprofessional.
But there's that, and also though in some of these esports matches, especially in how they're set up, though it's set up in a specific way, so you can't do something like that. But also you're saying looking at your opponent. The only time you're looking at your opponent when it comes like that is probably when they walk in, shake hands, and sit down because they're having their 24-inch, 27-inch monitors in front of them. They have headphones on and they have headpieces to communicate with their team at the same time. So they're still not necessarily looking at their opponent. They're just on a stage.
Which is why the rage quitting thing is still a thing, because they're going to be stuck there in that screen, and then as soon as they start to throw their headset down and then stand up, they're going to look around and see anywhere between 25 and 250,000 people watching them go, oh shit, I'm still in public.
I can't say that it's never happened, but I can fairly confidently say that I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
The rage quitting specifically, I don't think is
specifically,
an
no.
ongoing esport
I've
problem.
never
But I understand it
personally
being a thing to be wary
It
of.
could, right.
Also, I do want to make it absolutely clear that I'm not generalizing that either esports players or gamers are like antisocial fucks or don't understand what it means to
I'm
be
pretty
a good sport or
antisocial.
anything like
Thanks,
that.
buddy.
I'm not making that generalization. I think that the isolated nature of gaming can lend to that kind of mentality, and that's something that should be actively
since I was the one that brought it up, I feel like I have to be the one that clarifies that I'm coming from this from a psychological perspective. Like I'm looking at this the way most modern psychologists and psychiatrists have been looking at this, because this has been an interesting case study. Like watching the technological age evolve the human mind, and social interaction has been a major part of that.
So like the way that we've all interconnected through online and Facebook, you think is being mirrored in this esport world, that we are more connected than we were in some ways, and at the same time more isolated in others.
Yeah, because
coming to terms
because
with
face to face is
Jonathan says it's particularly unpersonal as a sport. I don't agree with that statement as a blanket statement.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I get what he's
I
saying.
get what he's saying, but you can always trash talk in all chat. There's always that.
Trash talking in alt chat, I think, is perfectly fine. But as soon as the 3, 2, 1 go, you need to be locked in the game. Like, leave the fucking chat alone. That's why you have a headset to communicate with your team.
There is a difference though between that. You feel sort of anonymous, even though you have like a handle or whatever. So you're going to be more free or less thoughtful with what you remember that? Versus like when we play fantasy football, we still trash talk each other. But eye to eye.
It's like if you're playing poker, okay? And this is the phrase I'm gonna use. It's saying you're playing poker in a hand, and you dump the chips at somebody, like call me. Or if you're playing online where you just click a button, call me. What's more intimidating? If you want to use your words or emotion to bait somebody into triggering them, to put them to play bad.
None of it.
But I'm saying
none of it is intimidating.
That's what happens.
Who do you think I
though.
am, Phil Hellmuth?
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying that's what all chat does to people. It triggers them. Like it is an emotion, as you said, psychological. It's a psychological, mental tactic.
That is a tactic, and like it has been a tactic from everything from old school football games to MMA. Like you've seen all those shots where here's the lineup where
you
they
mean
do
Conor
the
McGregor?
weigh-in, and then they got those two dudes just like standing there,
Like Conor McGregor.
I was watching boxing the other day, and I don't watch a lot of boxing, so I don't know like a lot of context for things or anything. But I did notice that they hug a lot, and I was like, oh, that's sweet.
No, it's not. They're tired. The person who is hugging the other person is tired and can't take a hit.
Really?
So he's trying to rest a couple seconds so he can get back up.
They're not taking momentary, just like affection.
Yes, they're just embracing. No, they're.
I don't think you
resting.
understand the sport that well, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking smile, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
What would get you to watch more esports? So I'll
Time?
answer my own question real quick before we get there, but think about that for a second. I watched, it was not an official esport event like in a stadium or anything, but it was a ranked online griffball match.
I got it.
And they were announcing it. And that kind of thing was super fun. Because, the announcers, you need to know a lot about what you're doing.
Yes.
The Smash announcers I've watched, and those guys, and I mentioned this before, have got to be real fucking fast, because that game is fast as shit.
Just so you know, the term for it, instead of an announcer like in another sport, they're called shoutcasters.
Shoutcasters.
Uh-huh. They're because they're shoutcasting the action of what's happening between different players or opponents or characters in the game, and most of them know all the abilities, and they can call it out and call out what's going on.
I had not heard that term before.
Called
so
shoutcasters.
What will get you to watch more esports?
Let's give those shoutcasters some actual shoutcasting training.
Yeah.
I mean, listening to a Texas Rangers game is more interesting than listening to some Smash
to agree with that.
And
that's not a Rangers. That's not a Rangers thing. That's a baseball thing.
Oh, okay. It was a lot more fun listening to John Madden.
Maybe you just don't like baseball.
No, why do you think it?
Look, baseball. Well, baseball. I do have to give the announcers some credit in baseball because the action of baseball is so slow
that they have to make airtime. So they have to give stats. They have to give last time they were at bat.
They kind of have to do that with international football as opposed to American football. Because the timer counts up, and then they got this massive pitch where they're playing, and sometimes it's kind of hard to follow the action, and that's when you get guys like the Mexican announcer, the one that made the goal so famous. Yeah,
I do want to point out that even in chat, people are like, "No, Steven, they're not hugging."
Yeah, I mean. So you tell me. The reason I'm saying, but I want to just ask: did you like Harry Carey as a baseball announcer?
Harry Carey brought a.
I'm just putting it out there.
Harry Carey brought a level of optimism to the Cubs.
I was gonna do the Will Ferrell Harry Carey, and I realized I couldn't do it justice, and so I couldn't continue because
you're a hot dog. Would you hate yourself? No, when the Cubs won the World Series last year, they put Harry Carey kind of edited in.
Of course they did.
He died a few years ago, and they made it sound like that he was announcing the last moments of the World Series at Wrigley Field.
I mean, he was a god.
It nearly brought a tear to my eye, and I looked over, and Crystal, who has been a lifetime Cubs fan, was just streaming tears from her face the whole time.
So would the announcers or the shoutcasters get you to watch more if there were better and more recognizable ones?
It's not because they would make me more interested in watching the game. It's they would keep me interested in watching the game. Because
would you watch a game that you maybe didn't know much about or didn't play yourself?
And that's Justice 2.
Okay.
Like the one I watched last week. They had a series of them playing, so I was like, yeah, I haven't seen Injustice 2, so I played Injustice 2.
So
what about you?
my question just to reflect back on you watching things specifically.
Okay.
Let's say there's a game you're passionate about. What's a game you're passionate about that you play? First-person shooter, if not multiplayer online. Give me a game that you're passionate about. Let's go with Warframe because you love it. Let's go with Warframe because I know you love Warframe.
I was about to go with that.
I know you. So let's say there's a player that has been playing it. They were a pro status. They know everything about every character in the game, right? They know what's going on, or they know abilities. They know what could happen, possibility. But they changed from playing into the shoutcaster. So they can tell you, the player that you're passionate about, oh, hey, this person is probably doing X, X, and X to make this person do this, and they're constantly talking back and forth about what's happening. Would that interest you more in the game or less about watching the esports?
It wouldn't change my... Okay, for starters, it wouldn't change my interest in the game. Because I'm already
I'm saying, I mean, watching it for
if
esports.
it would change my interest in watching the game, in and of itself, no, it wouldn't, because I'm already interested enough in the game that I want to watch a stream of it. Would it keep me interested? It depends. Just because he's info dumping doesn't mean he's interesting to listen to. Doesn't mean he has, a unique insight into the game. That's what guys like John Madden and Harry Carey had, was they brought their unique little twist on the game as they announced it. They had their own views of what was going on, and especially John Madden, especially, that was why they have the Madden calls in all the Madden games. It's because that was a thing that he would do when he was in the broadcasting booth.
It feels like you're looking for something specific, and the reason I say that is because in most of these games that are playing, something is always changing and different dynamic. And I know it sounds different.
We had this conversation with Red 6. It's like, is it even possible that we could do this sort of thing with esports?
What would get you to watch more esports in general?
Time. I just need more.
They air it more, or if you had
if I had,
he needs more ass and chair time.
Because normally, like if there's esports on, if there's a League of Legends Championship on or something like that, since I have two monitors,
He just recently joined the Old Farts League too, so he's got adulting to take.
Not just in the person, but not just in the shoutcasters or the announcers, but in the players themselves. Do we need more personalities in terms of? When you may watch a player on the NFL that you really like the player and sort of follow them regardless of what team they're on.
And that's
or you may follow the team.
I was about to get into that too.
So is that something that would benefit esports? Now, and again, we're in the infancy right now, so there hasn't even been time.
Like for me, specifically for me, again, since I'm a League of Legends advocate, because I think it's an enjoyable game, there's several pro players that I thoroughly enjoy that are way better at the game than I am or ever will be. But they're on pro teams, or they used to be on pro teams, and what they have is, of course, they're YouTubers as well. Right. They have their games, and they have their editors that are edited down, that's showing all their plays, talking about. And most of the time when you're watching them stream as well, they're also being like, hey, I'm probably going to go do this, and this, because this is probably going to happen. And most of the time it does. So watching those specific players gets to you, at least me, if I know they're on a pro team, well, I'm more involved and inclined to watch that pro team play because that specific player is on it and doing a specific role that I enjoy to watch.
Yeah. Well, and that was going to be my next question. Would you rather watch a character, by which I mean a game character, or would you rather watch a player? Or does it depend? So what I'm saying is, would you rather see all of the players playing the Broloff? Would you like to see, I'm going to watch Broloff in the matches, or would you rather watch a specific
To me, it's not about the character. It's about the, especially with League for me, when it comes to that, it's about I like the role. Specifically the role that some of these people play, because I'm a jungle main. I don't care what champion you play in the jungle, as long as you show me something new, interesting, or like a better tactics, or just having fun in the game.
So you're watching players more than you're watching like the heroes of the characters.
Yeah, because there's so many different. There's over 120.
Jonathan references South Korea having a major StarCraft esports.
And you are absolutely right.
For sure. If you have anything more on that, Jonathan, feel free to
Yeah, they're the ones that play for 250K.
But they said
they have more than 150 clicks a minute.
They set the standard.
That's where it all started. StarCraft 1.
Yeah,
right.
So
it's our national sport, I believe. I think, or they changed to Overwatch.
The format on traditional TV, would you turn on ESPN to watch, or ABC or NBC, that kind of thing, or does this kind of thing have to be more interactive because we're gamers and because
I think it needs to be more interactive, especially since half of the enjoyment that comes from watching esports is watching the chat ticker. And actually taking part of the chat ticker.
Well, that's just gravy. It is absolutely in its infancy. Just because it's been around for years, baseball's been around for 100+ years.
Yeah.
Right? So,
they've had their chance to really
esports has technically been around, but technical esports probably about 4 years, right? 3 to 4 years.
Even if it had been 15 or 20 years, that's still a very young sport.
Now, when it comes to StarCraft tournament, high level play, of course that's been around for several years. But when it comes to live streaming it because of Twitch and everything else that is new out there, it's more considered relatively new, like Steven is saying,
and I will
opposed
say
to,
especially in this country.
and especially in the U.S., which you're absolutely right, because I mean, like I said, I believe South Korea was.
So this is what I'm getting at with the interactivity thing. So if we turn on ESPN and they're going to show CS:GO, right? And maybe there's a team we've been following. Or
Right, like Cloud9,
or,
like example, like Cloud9 or something.
Or if just Chuck, let's say Chuck gets into the CS:GO scene and gets on a team and goes to play one of these major functions. We want to watch Chuck and his team, right?
Right.
Do we want to just tune into esports on ESPN and just watch whatever they're showing us, where they pick the angles, the characters, the action, and whoever's shoutcasting or announcing is doing that? Or do we need something, what I was getting at, on Twitch, where we can choose who we're watching in that NASCAR style? You know how you can go into the cockpit like on DirecTV and whatever? Do we need to, like, I only want to see Chuck's perspective?
I'm gonna start this one off if that's all right, Chuck.
Go ahead. I'm still trying to formulate.
So again, I keep making league references, but any of the League or Dota games that I've seen watched, or even Counter-Strike, I do like the fact that it's already in control by the shoutcasters or whoever's doing it, because
you trust the professionals to show
I'm trusting the professional because I know what's going on, and then it can possibly switch to action faster, and I know what's going on the map opposed to just scrolling through it. So I like the jumping portion because I can see what's going on through the entire map in like a short second. The short clips.
Do you think that the option needs to be there, where you can watch the professional stream, but you could also choose to either freeform the camera on the battlefield or follow a specific
I'm going to say, okay, so here's another example for you that's already in play. If I'm watching, like let's say I'm playing a game of League of Legends and you're my friend, right, on the game. You have a spectate game option. Now in this option, there's two forms of it. It's spectating the game, and it will jump from action to action on its own, or you can already go to somewhere else on the map.
Right.
So you can look wherever you want, or do that option, which is already in play in this game specifically.
In some games, and I think Battlefront 2, I don't know if Battlefront 2 is going to have this, but when they showed it, they certainly did it when we were watching that fake esport thing, where they were showing the perspectives of players, and then near the end they stopped and controlled the camera around the battlefield, and they were like, this is the room, this is the choke point, so we're going to give you sort of like a, not exactly a bird's eye view, but definitely more of a free flow thing. So if that, is that beneficial?
Yeah, one last thing and then throw it on you, because you asked about interactive, and I didn't finish that part. So, especially on the interactive portion as well, I do like the fact that they do, it's a lot online. It has the Twitch chat next to it.
Right.
I think that's a great feature, having Twitch chat, because people, who are passionate about the game can commentate, and it might be references or put into, and it just shows your support per team. Just like if you were there, just like, if you're wearing your Bengals jersey, you're showing your support. This is you in a chat room, with everybody else, showing a form of support towards your team.
There's a lot to digest there, Chuck, but what are you thinking? If it's about pie, I swear to Christ, I'm moving on.
Well, I was thinking about a mini-map feature for spectators.
Ooh.
Like,
okay.
When games are played, every interactive object and such has an XY. That's how the mini-maps work. Is it takes the X and Y on the map.
You mean the coordinate.
You have the XY coordinate on the map. So what you can do then...
I was like, they don't have chromosomes.
Well, what they can do is they can have... they can take a main. God damn it!
Sorry,
break my.
I feel like my jokes are flying real well tonight.
They are, but still. But anyway, kind of like what you do when you show the video here for the audience, and then you have that little tiny mini map right there. You can have the same kind of mini map for character action, especially for League. It would be really fun to watch with League, because you've already got that mini map, and it tells you where all the towers have been taken.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Taken over.
It's already involved in League.
You just.
But the thing that wouldn't really work with though is
people watching that map.
Is in first-person shooters though, because it's a first-person action.
Players, it's for the spectators.
Right, the players wouldn't have the mini map, but they would show an overhead of where action is taking place if you're watching CS:GO, and then in a small place just for the viewer.
I
to get a
understand.
sense
Well,
of
you
what's
can,
going
you
on.
can
I
have like a
understand it,
kind of a split
I wouldn't
screen
use
thing.
it.
Like imagine like horizontal split screen. You kind of have on one side here you have the guy from Team A. This side here you have the guy from Team B. Right here in the middle you have the mini map.
That's a lot of
that
maps.
kind of like shows right there, and then the top and the bottom they have the action from both of
That
those
feels-
screens.
So, and this is sort of like, how would we feel about that if you are watching an esports and it is split screen, where you have one person from one team that is being switched through on one side, and Team B, again, the players being switched through on this side.
So much
That's
to
a lot
watch.
going on, right?
That's too much going on.
That is too much though. That's
Like
why
I
things
can't
like,
split a focus like that.
But
that's
I don't
why
know.
things like
Gamers may be able to read that. I
mean,
don't know that
yes,
non-gamers would be able
I
to read that.
don't think you can, because that's why I like when they switch from team to team to show cross areas, and they do that. They showed
Connected to that, what we were-
imagine a pay-per-view then, where we're going to have this massive national or international event aired, and if you pay a fee to watch this thing, you get to pick which feeds you watch.
And
Like,
Jonathan said he agrees with Calvin on the first-person shooter thing. He would want to see that.
I want to see that
player's
headshot. I want to
perspective when
see
he makes it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I do get value in watching that, because when we make clips like in Halo, for example, you can do that free camera and clip things and record.
But that's like, yeah, to
and
me.
seeing that both in first person and out of first person, I think has value. But I did want to, if you were able to choose, let's say, like you could watch the announce feed, right? So you tune in and you can choose announce feed, like what you're saying, where it is cultivated and they're jumping to where they think the best action is, and they may miss some things, but
Right.
you know they're
They're
editing
going to talk
it
about
to the
abilities,
preview,
and they're yeah, exactly.
if you have the ability to choose between people, we touched on this at the EA conference, is it plausible / would it be beneficial, even if it were plausible, to have a different announcer or shoutcaster for each player so that they can sort of dictate what's going on? If I'm only interested in watching Chuck or PewDiePie, and I wouldn't, but Calvin or someone, playing a game,
when you have small
or do I need the
teams,
world announcer only?
it depends on how big the team is. If you've got like league, that's at least a 3-on-3. Right?
It's depending. Normally it's 5-on-5, but if there's a 3-on-3 map, so it's 10 players.
Yeah.
So normally it's 10 players.
So
And
in my
so you're
pitch here,
in your
there
pictures,
are 11 announcers.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to me,
that's a lot.
that is a lot of talking going on.
Oh, yeah?
That'd be a lot of talking over each other. It'd be
Oh, no, you'd only hear the channel that you're listening to.
That would still be a lot
be-
of chatter.
No, he's saying there's only the channel that you're watching. You
You're
don't
not
like.
hearing
Let's
all
say
the
I'm
other
watching one of the junglers. I'd only hear the shoutcaster
You're
for the
only hearing-
jungler.
Yeah. That's
But
Now I don't.
But in terms of the infrastructure itself, though, that's a lot of people to pay and bring in and hook up.
I'm talking like physical space. You're still going to be able to hear the chatter because you're going to be watching one guy's stream,
They
and then
do-
something really cool happens over here,
They do
and
that.
you'll be able to hear
They
that.
do that with real sports, though. Like, they're able to do that with sound, with multiple announcers from local and national stations. And
Right.
Stuff. I'm not too worried about that, but for sure it could be.
Now,
I see what you're saying.
now to go with Just Gravy Baby, as he just posted on there, Jonathan, he says, get a duo of announcers to cover all gameplay. Now, to go with you on Jonathan, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That is exactly
That is
so.
the status quo.
The status is you have two shoutcasters, both of them who are very relevant and knowledge in the game and have played the game at least to a reasonably high caliber in the game.
The duo of announcers is pretty standard across all sports.
All
like
sports.
Tennis, poker,
that's where the
everything has
esporters
a-
got it.
Like sometimes there's the MC and the two announcers, which
Yeah,
is
for sure.
which is standard, but sometimes it's three. But Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Dota, I've only seen two shoutcasters, and I thoroughly enjoy two because I think more than two or three is way too much talking. That'd be like watching a professional football game with 22 announcers, one per position. Like that.
Yeah.
That'd be so unnecessary. That
You wouldn't, but at the same time, wouldn't it be kind of neat, like if you were really into the wide receiver position, that you could only hear the wide receiver announcer like talking about
here's
the position and the route and the catch and the play.
If the
Okay.
wide receiver were acting in an independent fashion, yeah, but really you don't care about the wide
And
receiver
there wouldn't-
until he catches the ball.
And there wouldn't be much talking until something happened.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just running and moving position. Now, that's why they can make conversation with two people talking about stats back and forth about the 40 different players or however the X X number of players are on the team,
Talking
opposed
about
to
team strategy.
one person talking about one thing. Like it'd be crickets most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Would you guys have any interest in, or again, going to a stadium to view an esports event? If they were like American Airlines Center, downtown Dallas, they're going to show, the live Smash tournament or something like that. Is that something you guys would be like, hey, let's get some tickets and fucking go watch
I
this
would
shit?
do it just to say I watched Smash Brothers played on the fucking AAC.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a huge damn deal.
I definitely would go to a Giant League tournament. I've thought about going to the ones in LA, New York, like Boston. There's a couple of huge places that they have them. I definitely would want to go check it out for sure. Live.
I'd go. I think at first I would go just to support the esports.
Right,
in general.
like I said, I've also been to the one in downtown Fort Worth. Remember the Counter-Strike tournament that was there?
Was that?
That was recently. No, Dallas, but the tournament itself, that one was in Fort Worth.
Yeah, just so
They
you know.
they call things.
We're not Dallas.
Yeah, but and it's true, and they put on there in Dallas, and we're like, no.
It's because fucking nobody knows what Fort Worth is.
Exactly.
We're Fort Worth.
Little brother syndrome.
Yep.
Little brother, my ass. Dallas is the little brother. Fuck them, trying to be all New
my
York and
God.
shit.
I mean, we have.
I don't know if it was possible for you to prove my point harder. Like, if you tried. So you would go, and you would go.
Depending on the game.
Depending on the game, you would go just to go do it. Sort of, I think with me, like we want to support, like, this is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Good for gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of fashion. I think I would have to get really into a competitive game, and that's not usually my scene.
Not mine
to be
either.
able to like continue to invest in that kind of thing. We're gonna wrap up here, but if you and I've asked this before, but yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. That's my wrap up thing. And I've asked this before, but since we're here, what esport would you play?
League. I would still play League of Legends. I still think.
Hero or position or like?
I mean, I would prefer to be a jungler if I was playing, jungler or support, which is fine. But if I was to play, I mean, professionally, that'd be a game I would go for, considering the amount of teamwork you need, the amount of communication you need to be able to do it, as well as the dynamic time and like proficiency you need to have in that game. That's the game I would play because it's super fun. It is a hard game. Most people really can't get into MOBAs very easily, and I know we're gonna have one of those talks later this month.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in July, we're gonna have a MOBA talk.
Let me real quick welcome Blazing Link and welcome to the chat, Blazing.
Well, welcome in.
We might get to your question in just a second. Continue.
But no, that's the game I play just because it's just a dynamic game and teamwork and everything in that game, to me, is something that makes it the game that it is, because you have to be passionate about it. You have to learn over 120 different characters to even know what they might do in a fight situation.
You have to
and then
make
you have
it
to
a job.
and then you have to cohesively play together.
Yeah, you've got to make
So,
it a job.
So
like,
what would you play? Charles. If you gotta choose an esport for you to graduate or whatever. So like in my hypothetical, what you gonna play professionally? Are you more of a like I just want to control my own destiny Street Fighter kind of guy? Or
do you wanna play
more, I want
Warframe,
to jump in with
or-
a couple of folks and be part of a team kind of guy?
I'd rather
because
be part
I
of a
guarantee you, if we're relying on you to take cover in GTA Online, it ain't gonna happen.
We're gonna.
I have learned to take cover, thank you very
We're
much.
done with the heist now.
No, we're not. Because we have somebody else hosting them now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With the Doom again. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So what would you choose?
I don't know. It's a toss-up between probably something Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Or Warframe, if Warframe ever got to be.
Are you excited about Infinite or not?
I was excited about Infinite until I heard a little rumor that since Disney wants their Marvel characters to look like the MCU and they want them to look super pretty, they told Capcom to kind of ugly up their own characters to make them look better.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is a nasty rumor.
It might be a renter to see how it is, and then move from there.
I think I would want to do something, honestly, right now, if I was going to do something, maybe Battlegrounds. Like, be a professional Battlegrounds player.
Fuck, Battlegrounds would be great.
And not because I think I'd be particularly good at it, just because it'd just be fun as shit.
I have
Can you imagine
I want
being
to show
the
you some
bouncer?
videos, by the way, that are gonna make you laugh your tits off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got tits
tits
that need,
laughed
they
off.
need to
Just
go away.
laughed off.
Right off.
No more titties.
They need to go away. Like,
Yes.
can you show me a video that make me laugh my gut off? Because I could stand to lose a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, Blazing Link asks, before we go to the fan can, what's your favorite type of porn? Mine is softcore. So soft, though, that it's like people
That
hanging
keeps you
out.
flaccid?
you be
Is it so?
They just hang out and like tell each other how cool they are.
So it's like so like right now.
Yeah.
So is
basically,
this your softcore porn?
this is my favorite kind of porn right here.
Ah, okay.
because we all know that the only reason you do this is.
But that would mean this is all
Narcissism.
like this is a
the
little
only
bit of
reason
all.
anybody has a podcast is from just narcissism.
This would make it like all dudes though.
The only reason anyone hosts a podcast is because of narcissism.
So we have to answer the question. I am
Do
not.
we have to answer the question?
No.
Oh well.
You can, but I can also wrap us up. What were you gonna
I was just gonna say, there's no favorite. Porn is just enjoyable.
say? Let's not play favorites.
There's no favorites in porn. People are naked. Whatever. Fuck it.
You're not about to breach a TOS, are you? I see
no.
you getting real comfy over there. And I go,
The favorite kind of porn is the one that has me in it.
Wow.
That's a good answer.
That's
a good answer.
I'm back with Steve-O and his soft-core flaccid porn over here.
Guys, feel free to grab your Gutter Nerds glass. We're going to do a toast. And
Also, welcome Rotoplex 90.
yes, welcome, Rotoplex. Welcome back.
Rotoplex!
Rotoplex has been here before. I remember Rotoplex. I am toasting with Tuaca tonight. What are you gentlemen toasting with?
I'm hydrating my body because I need to regrow my liver since I pretty much drank it out last week.
I hear that no matter how much you drink, you can always rebuild your liver
With a replacement liver?
with more alcohol. It's called hair of the dog.
I mean that depends on how much you drink.
You just need the replenishment alcohol.
Yes. Which I did do all week.
I have too much blood in my alcohol.
I'm not a doctor, but if you drink a lot, you'll be fine. I want to, and you guys can do your individual toast. You can toast whatever you want to. I want to toast the Smash announcers because those guys are fucking auctioneers. With the way they, and they're gonna go to the way dash, we're gonna all the side, and so I want to toast to those motherfuckers. The Smash shoutcasters in my toast.
I'm gonna smash. No, I'm gonna.
You need that water real bad.
Yeah.
Let me smash.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash.
Let me
No.
smash.
I'm going to toast to the League of Legends shoutcasters because, again, they have to know the team's history as well as the players on the team, and then they need to know everything about the champions that they're playing and what could possibly happen in the game. So those dudes are brilliant.
Jonathan's toasting with Fireball tonight.
Yay, Fireball.
I am going to toast to Twitch itself because without Twitch, this wouldn't be anywhere near the massive conversation that it was tonight.
Gentlemen, our toasts.
Cheers. God, I don't hit the table. Fucking savages over here.
It's because I've been moving around too much this episode, so
So you're
What's
just
the
you're just
table
warm.
bank?
You're
I
just
don't even
warm
get
up.
that.
You take a shot or a drink. You tap the table. It's
Your
like
little
it's a thing.
God. Next week we're going to be talking
you
about
cannot back out!
revolution in gaming. It is our 4th of July episode. It'll be on the 3rd. It's a week from today at 9 p.m. Central. We're going to be talking about games that feature revolution as a core
bunch of
aspect.
bullshit.
Toppling government, fighting the power, that kind of thing. We also have a couple of surprises and special guests and cool shit happening next week. So I definitely suggest you tune in. By the way, guys, don't forget to follow us if you haven't yet by clicking the heart on the bottom of the screen if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely like and subscribe. And when we get to 100 followers, I'm going to be giving away a whole bunch of shit. PS3 games, PS4 games, PC games, Xbox 360, Xbox One games. We got shit to give away. So share us with someone and get our follower count up. We really appreciate that.
sharing is
We'd enjoy you.
And this week, I'm going to be streaming XCOM 2. And I have characters made from the Gutter Nerds crew.
That have already
I
died.
have some that have already died.
Fucking asshole.
We have Red Sixers in there. We have our mods in there. Game Guy and June's in there. Our production staff is in there. Sarah and Shark are ready to go. And Sarah and Chuck have been beating wholesale ass.
I feel like you didn't.
what you
You're
get
telling me a
when you
Red
put me on your
Sixers
team.
outlasted me?
We just recruited the Red Sixers, so they haven't even really done anything yet.
All right.
You got some kills though.
Barely.
Lauren died training rooks
Wow.
in the field, but training rooks.
This is how you don't do it.
So, Steve-O, one last question. Who are you gonna fuck, marry, kill? You gotta answer it.
Okay. I'll kill you.
Oh,
I'll marry Chuck, and I'll just fuck myself.
Okay, wow.
My name is Steven.
My name is fucking Calvin.
My name is fucking Chuck.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Good lord.
Oh.